Like Mary Beth a couple of weeks ago and Matt last week, Dawn has asked me, being part of the stewardship committee, to speak to you guys for a little bit about why my family pledges the First Presbyterian. And it's because we think it's important. We think it's very important. I've heard it described as the ante in a card game or the price of admission. But that really misses the mark, because that suggests that it's required or is necessary to give something in order to receive the gifts of this church or God's grace. And of course we know that that's not true. Giving to God something that's already His is not a have-to activity. It really should be a get-to activity. It's a blessing, and it should be done joyfully, and it should be done with abundance. We love this church, and we pledge because of the people who gather here, because of the fellowship, because of the things our kids get to be a part of. We get to take part in Mike's sermons, and we get to benefit from all that Russ puts into our youth programs, and Mark's music, and all of the folks that gather in this church, and they take the time to teach our Sunday school kids, to be a part of the church, to give back their time and their talents to all the different outreaches and ministries of the church. You know, this spring when everything started shutting down, we had Sunday school teachers for our kids driving to our house and dropping off Sunday school materials. So, you know, you couldn't go to work, or you couldn't go to a restaurant, or even come here to worship on a Sunday, but we looked up and Claudia Bird was driving down our driveway with a bag full of goodies with our 5-year-old's name on it. He was ecstatic. So if you think about that and think about when everything was kind of going crazy and people were trying to figure it out, we had a group of people at church trying to figure out how they could connect with the kids of the church. So they offered up people come into our houses and Zoom calls for the kids. That's just one example, but it's a great example as to exactly why we pledge, because we get to be a part of that, and that means a great deal to us. It's good people doing good things that we get to take part in. And for us, that's a great example of why we pledge. I think now we're cautiously optimistic and maybe starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel of what's been a really trying 2020 on a lot of different levels for a lot of different folks. So as I think about the end of 2020 and you think about the end of 2020 and start to look to a new year, I challenge you right now to do two things. The first is to complete your pledge card for the coming year. And the second is to show up and reconnect as a church family. Those two things in concert are really the mission statement of our church. That's what it is. It is striving or seeking to see the face of Christ and striving to be the hands of Christ. So I'll end on this, one, because I told my daughter I would, and two, because I think it's very, very appropriate. So this is her softball team's devotional prayer this week, and I think it's very apropos as we consider stewardship and our pledge. And it reads, God, thank you for all you've done for me. You are worthy of my praises and adoration. You have done truly wonderful things for me. Please accept my praise and draw me even closer to you. Thank you for your time.